Hello, my name is Hayden Ramirez, and today I will be doing an explainer video on some expectations and rules that I will have in my classroom in the future, how I'll implement those, and how I'll work to create a positive learning environment and culture in my classroom with my students. So the first rule that I'll have with my students is that respect for fellow students, the teacher, and the physical classroom is an absolute must. We'll follow the golden rule of treat others the way you want to be treated, and no hate, bullying, or discrimination of any kind will be tolerated. The second rule that I would have is that do not talk when the teacher is talking, and then raise your hand when you have something to say, a question or a comment. Both of these will be implemented by enforcing tangible consequences such as private conversations, loss of classroom privileges, and involvement from parents and administrators, particularly if there's an instance of hate or discrimination of any kind. And then with regards to the don't talk when others are speaking, to enforce this, I'll only call on students who are raising their hands, and this kind of creates a pattern or routine that can show students what kind of behavior is expected if they want to get called upon. So what's an important task that's inherent to the expectation? As a teacher, I should also be tasked with modeling expected and proper behavior that acts in accordance with the rules I've set out for my own students, to show that rules apply to me as well, and to give them a model to look up to for guidance. Now, how will I set the stage for introducing those expectations and fostering a positive culture of community in the classroom? Well, with the rule of raising your hand and not speaking over others, as well as giving your full attention to the teacher when they are speaking, this will work to create a respectful classroom environment where students are able to speak their minds, give their perspectives, and ask questions without being interrupted. And then they can also give their attention to other students when it's their turn. This results in students developing active listening skills and the ability to exhibit self-control when they're going to speak and when they want to make comments. I'll introduce these expectations at the beginning of the year, and we'll conduct activities that have students collaborate and work together to understand these expectations in a fun and inclusive way. Now, what are some challenges that I may face when trying to implement these expectations? Well, a significant challenge will be to fairly and consistently reinforce these rules and expectations, because if you're lax with one student or in one instance in one time, but you're really consistent in implementing the expectation with a different student, this leads to not a fair and just implementation, and this might lead to behavioral issues or resentment from students. So consistency is a really big key here. A specific strategy to establish discipline, rewards, and consequences in the classroom would be positive reinforcement, as well as non-confrontational discipline. You still want to remain an authoritative figure who enforces rules, procedures, routines, and expectations in the class, but you also want to do so in a way that's supportive and comes from a place of care for the student. This helps students get back on the right track in a supportive way, not demeaning or belittling them for behavioral issues. This promotes the culture of respect and care that I mentioned in the first rule of the class. Now, finally, technology can help with accessibility for students with certain accommodations, as well as make learning fun and engaging. For example, students who prefer visual learning or may have an attention disorder can be given online videos that help them to learn how they prefer to learn, which creates that inclusive learning environment, which is kind of the goal of that first rule I established. Using technology such as academic games online or team-building games like Kahoot is a way to foster community of respect and one based on collaboration as students work to build relationships with one another and learn in a fun way. So that's the little explainer video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.